I, 23 male, have been married to my wife, Lisa, for just over 5 years. We have a 4-year-old daughter, Emily. For the past week or two, I've had a gut feeling that Lisa was talking to someone else and maybe even cheating on me. Last night, after I got home and she was asleep, I checked her phone and confirmed my worst fears. She's been chatting with a coworker named Dan. The texts from the past 2 days, she deleted the older ones, ranged from them saying "I love you" to making plans for him to come over to our house today while I'm at work. They didn't explicitly say they were going to have sex, but it was strongly implied. There's some evidence that they've already been fooling around. Right now, I'm sitting at a Waffle House after calling in sick to work. I'm planning to try to get proof of his visit if he shows up by watching when my alarm system is armed or disarmed through the app on my phone. After some research, I found that if I can prove she's committed adultery, she won't be eligible for any alimony in my state. I could stop them from hooking up by going home and confronting her before it happens, but that could cost me a lot in the long run if our marriage falls apart. I love her and don't want it to end, but I can't see how I could ever forgive her for this. Even if I confronted her now, I'd always feel the same as if she had slept with him. This hurts so much. I love her more than anything, and I feel like there's a hole in my chest and lead in my stomach. I'm physically hungry but can't bring myself to eat because I'm so nauseous. I can't stop shaking. I can't think straight, and I feel like a part of me has been ripped out. I'm terrified of what this will mean for my life, and more importantly, for my daughter's life. I don't know what to do. Update. Huge thanks to everyone for all the advice, suggestions, and support. While I still feel physically sick, I'm able to think clearer thanks to everyone. If you're just getting here, please don't think because there are 250 plus comments that your opinion advice isn't important. I've read every single comment with an open mind, and I am factoring all of them into what I do. Also, it really helps a lot. I haven't confronted them yet, as the guy hasn't shown up, and I don't think he will. Today, at least. Maybe she caught on that I knew. I tried to play it like nothing was wrong this morning when I left, but damn did it hurt. Not sure if she bought it. In their texts, they planned for him to come over Thursday morning. It is currently 12:40 p.m. If he doesn't show up, I think I'm going to talk to her about it tonight. Update. Every single one of you is awesome. You're really helping me get through this. The guy never showed up, so here is the current plan. I'm going to act like nothing is wrong for now. After talking to you all and my family, I think I can pull off acting like nothing is wrong. I'll go see a lawyer in the morning, and I talked to a PI that I'll probably hire. I know from the text that she planned on having him come over during the hunting trip I have planned for next weekend, so I'm going to make sure I go and that the PI knows. I think I've decided I'm done. I don't want to try to fix it. I'm going to cover my ass and get out. It's not just an affair in the sense that she's having sex. She tells him she loves him, and she doesn't seem to love me anymore. I feel like she's trying to use me. She wanted a new car and for me to pay for her to go to school, but she wanted to be with him. Currently, she left to, presumably, pick up my daughter from daycare. I'm watching the time. I know how long it should take. If she takes longer, I can guess where she went. Either way, I'm going to try to make it through Christmas and my daughter's birthday next Friday without saying anything about this. Hopefully the PI can find evidence then. Wish me luck. Update. Get ready. This is a big one. So I came home and acted like everything was fine. We joked around a bit, and damn if that doesn't hurt when your heart's shattered, and had dinner. While we were sitting on the couch after dinner, Lisa asked me to pause the TV and asked when I was going to mention it. I played dumb and asked what it was, and she said she knew I saw the texts, and so the conversation began. She told me that Dan didn't come over, which I obviously knew, and that she told him she doesn't want to talk to him anymore. She even blocked his number. So the original plan is off the table. I still love her. My heart is in pieces, and I don't know if I can ever forgive her or trust her again. I don't even know if I can stay in this marriage. She wants to work on us. I don't know if I am willing to or not. Lisa said she was talking to Dan because she didn't feel wanted. She didn't feel a deep emotional connection between us, and he knew all the right things to say. She claimed she told him she couldn't be with him and told him multiple times she was done with him. Yet here she is inviting him to our house. She said it wasn't a choice what she felt for him. Her exact story was along the lines of, he was bagging at my register one day, and I accidentally touched his hand, and it was like electricity. I know you're probably reading this and thinking it's a load of BS. Yeah, me too. How am I supposed to trust her? I can't see her side of this. Should I give her a chance? Should I try to work on things? I don't know. Do I want to? Is it worth it? I have to figure all this out. I told her I can't decide now. I need time to think. I'm thinking about asking some coworkers if I can crash on their couch for a few days. Get away from it all and think. Of course, I'd come back for Christmas for my daughter's sake. I don't see any point in hiring the PI now, as I genuinely don't think she'd do anything for a while. Maybe I'm wrong. Obviously, I have been before. I'm taking plenty of precautions in the meantime to make sure I know what she's doing, and if anything seems off, I'm done. Of course, I won't tell her about any of this. Update. Unanswered questions, my feelings, and the plan. I'm going to do a little Q&A section for the most asked questions. How did she find out I know? 2 ways. She had a strong suspicion that I knew because when she woke up, there was a notification on her phone for a new screenshot. But when she clicked it, there was no file. She was 100% sure I knew once she found this post. Yup, she's seen it. She's probably reading this now. Hi, Lisa. We'll get more into that later. What did she say when I asked if she had sex with him? She said no. I'm inclined to believe her because many of the texts, including some of the last ones, he was saying how excited he was to finally see how hot her pussy is. That's a direct quote from him from the text, by the way. Does this mean I believe that she didn't? No, not at all. It doesn't change how I feel whether she did or not. She planned on it and probably would have if I hadn't found out. It'll be a long time before we ever are intimate again, if we ever are. I will definitely have us both checked for STDs. How do I know she won't do it again? Obviously, I don't. If we try to fix things, I'll probably never be able to fully trust her again. She is going to have to prove that she will be 100% honest with me. Here's the first test. To my wife. If you are reading this, text me now. Text me right now and tell me. Stop reading and text me. I will know if you have read it and don't tell me. It will be over. Some info on the comments I've seen. I'd say roughly 80–90% of you are telling me to lawyer up and leave her. Of that 80–90%, around 20% is actually making any kind of argument as to why I should, rather than just saying once a cheater, always a cheater, or something similar. The other 10–20% are telling me to either give it a shot or to do what makes me happy. The majority of those posters are making good arguments as to why I should stay. Thank you to everyone who has commented. It means so much to me that so many internet strangers have taken the time to try and help or comfort me. Also, please don't downvote people because you don't agree with their opinion. Everyone's opinion matters, even if it doesn't align with yours. I feel like I represented Lisa wrongly. She was saying that she did what she did with Dan because she felt unwanted, but she understood that it was her fault. She knows she should have talked to me. She knows she is the one in the wrong. She says she doesn't blame me for it. I didn't push her away and make her do this. She said she couldn't control how she felt for him, which I still have a hard time believing. But she could have controlled what she did. She let him talk her into it because I think that even if she doesn't realize it, it's what she wanted at the time. Our marriage hasn't been perfect. We've had issues. We've had issues communicating, especially lately. We haven't had a great sex life. I felt like she didn't care enough, and she felt like I didn't care enough. Neither of us tried enough to work on it. Does that mean I blame myself for this? Hell no. Not even a little. She did this, and she knows that's how I feel. I'm not trying to make you guys like her. I just want you to understand that I don't think, and never did think, that she is a whore who is a terrible person. She is a terrible wife for what she did to me, but in general, she's not a bad person. Now for the plan going forward. I thought long and hard last night and this morning about what I wanted. What would make me happy? I'm not going to make the decision to stay or leave based on what she wants. I'm not going to decide to stay to keep our family together. I have to make it based on what I want. I want to stay with her. But that doesn't mean I've decided to. I want us to work things out, talk to counselors, and have our marriage be better than ever. But I have no idea if that will happen. After I knew she read this post, I knew that she knew about the SC law on adultery, and that she wouldn't be entitled to alimony if she was caught. That was my only defense. Now that she knows, I don't think she'd do anything with anyone for a long time, which means that hiring a PI now, or when I go hunting next weekend, would be useless. However, If she's reading this and knew I wasn't hiring one, she might think she could get away with it. I'm putting some safeguards in place to ensure that doesn't happen. Or if it does, I have proof. I came up with an idea. I knew I couldn't and wouldn't trust her for a long time, if ever again, if we tried to fix things. I figured out the only thing that can even start to make me believe that maybe she actually wants to stay with me for me and work on our relationship, and not stay with me for what I can do for her. I asked her if she would sign a postnuptial agreement. I'll have to talk to a lawyer still, but if she agrees to sign a contract that if we divorce, even at no fault, she gets nothing. No alimony, no possessions except certain outline things that are undeniably hers, her computer, her clothes, her jewelry, etc., and no child support. Let me clarify this because I've gotten a couple of comments about it. I wouldn't not support my daughter, and I wouldn't keep my daughter from her. I'd just like to avoid court-ordered child support and give her a set amount to support my daughter based on how long she has her at any given time, rather than a fixed amount per month. I don't know how it would work, hence why I have to talk to a lawyer and make sure I can do it like that. I have further plans, but I will not be posting them here as she may see this, and those plans involve her not knowing about them. I may reveal them later on, but it will be long from now. At this point, if the postnuptial agreement works how I hope, and Lisa signs it, I think I'd be willing to try to work on things. I know a lot of you aren't going to like this. Maybe she is lying to me. Maybe she really is just a piece of crap. But I knew her before she did this. I knew her before our marriage degraded. I don't think she did it because she wanted to have sex with someone else. I don't think she did it because she doesn't love me. I think she did it because he was telling her the exact same things I used to when we were first together. I think she misses what we used to be. And while we will never be what we used to be, this will go one of three ways. Either we try to work on things, it doesn't work out, and we get a divorce. We try to work on things, she continues to cheat, and we get a divorce. Or we try to work on things. We fix problems we have had with ourselves and our marriage since we first got together, and our marriage and relationship will be stronger than it has ever been. I'm hoping for the latter. I love you guys. You are awesome. The amount of support I've gotten has been overwhelming. I'm still reading every top-level comment and message I get. Shout out to the fella that gave me my first gold, and a huge shout out to the champ that gave me my first platinum. Please continue to let me know what you think. I know a lot of you won't be happy with my decision or will be disappointed in me, but I've got to do this for me. Quick add-on to my latest update. Lisa has terrible self-image issues. She thinks the worst of herself. She's also super introverted and doesn't get to know many people. This is the first job she's had where she's been around other people in years. Of course, this doesn't excuse anything, but I felt like it was relevant. Update. Hey guys, sorry I've made you wait for an update. Currently sitting at the bar drinking some Jack and Coke. So we talked. We tried to work things out and it seemed like it was getting better. Then she said that she wasn't sure how she felt or if she wanted to try. We talked some more, and she said she did want to try. We had a session of counseling with a therapist Wednesday. The counseling went more or less like this. She said she felt like she wasn't getting enough out of the marriage and that I didn't care or talk to her. The therapist asked her some questions, and she answered basically saying she could tell I did care and did talk to her, or tried to anyway. The therapist kind of explained to her that it wasn't that I didn't care, by her own admission, and instead that she just wasn't happy with it and didn't know what she wanted. Well, she decided what she wanted. Last night she started setting up an air mattress in the extra room, and I saw she had some new sheets that she had ordered to fit it. I looked at her phone to see when she had ordered them, and she was texting Dan again. So obviously we're done. We will be getting a divorce. I know a lot of you are going to say, I told you so, but I was 100% aware this was a possibility when I tried to work things out, and I don't regret it at all. I will look back on this in the future and know I did everything I could to fix things. I have nothing left to regret, and that makes me happy. I tried, and I can never blame myself now. Now, before anyone says it, please refrain from calling Lisa a bitch or just generally talking shit about my wife. As you can't just stop loving someone at will, I still love her. Telling me how shitty a person she is doesn't help. I don't forgive her, and I may never, but I don't resent her. I still want the best for her and our daughter, and want her to be happy. I genuinely believe she regrets hurting me, but, at least believes that, she can't help how she feels. We are done, but she's currently planning to move back to Florida with her family, which means leaving Dan too. She doesn't think she can be happy with me anymore, but I don't really think she's leaving me to be with him. In my opinion, she's excited about the pursuit, the puppy dog love that you get when you meet someone new. I think she is damaged and needs help to figure out herself and her self-deprecation issues. She will be staying here in our house for the time being and seeing a therapist, hopefully, while she still gets the benefit of being married to me. By SC law, we will have to live apart for a year before we can file for divorce, but she will be leaving relatively soon. We have agreed to do mediation instead of having lawyers involved to save us money and fighting. We still get along well enough. She has agreed that she will not pursue alimony, and I think she will be giving me full custody of our daughter if the courts accept it, but with her still getting as much visitation as possible. I won't try to screw her over, as much as you guys will tell me to, and although I love you all for all the support and everything you have done for me, you don't know me and you don't know her. She's not a terrible person. I truly believe she is telling me the truth and won't try to screw me over either. It's going to be rough for a long time, but we'll make it through this. The most important thing to me right now is making sure our daughter is taken care of and that we do what is best for her. I'm on drink number 4 now and getting tired of typing, so I'm done for now. But if I left out any details, and I'm sure I did, feel free to ask, and I will reply to any questions, as well as update the update to include the details I left out. I appreciate you all more than you can know, and I wish I could afford to give each and every one of you medals, but unfortunately, I can't. If anyone is in the Columbia, South Carolina area, I'd love a drinking buddy, now or later. I'm buying, unless like 40 people try to come. Have a great day. Thanks for reading. Thanks for everything. You're amazing. Update. It's been 4 years since I discovered that my ex-wife was cheating on me. Many people have asked for an update, and I decided it's finally time for one. I have no interest in reading my original post and reliving that time in my life, so I'll give you a summary of what happened and where I'm at now. After the day or two of activity that the last post took place in, my ex Sheila and I spoke. She made promises to stop talking to the other guy, but of course couldn't keep her promises. Within a month or two, after trying and failing counseling, Sheila moved out. She stayed with her lover, and they remained together to this day. I retained custody of our daughter and life went on. I went through a deep depression, and I'm honestly surprised that I came out the other side of it. I have you all, my daughter and my mother, to thank for that. Sheila went on to get pregnant with the other guy's kid, got an abortion, got pregnant again, had the second kid, and had that child taken by CPS for 6 odd months for suspected abuse. We actually get along better now than we have since I discovered she was cheating. Not to say we're friends, but I've moved on and have stopped holding resentment for what she did to me. I believe in karma and feel like she's gotten hers. She hasn't had an easy life the past 4 years. I haven't stopped resenting her for being a bad mother, but I've accepted that I can't fix it. Instead, I'm focused on being the best father I can for my daughter. She just turned 8 and is the most amazing child anyone could ask for. I've actually just come out of a 2-year relationship. That didn't end badly, we're just going our separate ways. For the first time in my life, I'm happy and excited for my life as a single man. My life isn't perfect, but it's as good as it's ever been. I don't remember all that I went through in the last post, so if you have any questions, leave a comment or shoot me a message. Thank you so much to everyone that helped me through the hardest part of my life. I'll never forget you. To anyone going through a difficult time, it gets better. Make it to the other side. It's worth it, I promise. Love y'all.